morning. I've been wanting to do this kind of video for such a long time now. I just have not had the opportunity. I've been making a ton of videos lately here. What I thought we would do today is just a peaceful morning reset video where nothing goes bad, just a relaxing, chill time for us to spend together. I'm just trying to get through my morning and I'm gonna take you with me. So if that sounds of interest to you, just stay along for the ride. This is my bedroom slash home office and I've been meaning to tidy it up for some time now. Oh my gosh, including putting all of this away. So you're gonna see me struggle with this. This is my summer blanket and it's dropping on the floor and that drives me crazy. So I'm gonna put the summer weight blanket away because I think that that's finally done. I'm someone who does not like to deal with a lot of stress. Like I don't have good coping skills. I don't know if that's a result from a past trauma, a personality type. I think a lot of people can relate though. But what I do in these kind of situations is, well, I do a few things when I'm feeling ultra stressed, but I make sure that I exercise. I think that's really important. Oh my gosh, this is a king size blanket. They're impossible just to hold up and fold. You really have to fling them. Let me just, there. Now you can watch me awkwardly try and fold this up. Yeah, I try and get in my exercise. I try and eat well. I try and drink lots, you know, these are pretty basic things to like look after your health. Honestly, this cover is so much bigger than I am. I have to keep flinging it. I find though the thing that's probably the most helpful when I'm feeling too stressed is simply, well, there's different types of stress. I mean, there's like overarching lifestyle stress of kind of bad things happening. There's not a whole lot I think you can do about those because they're out of your control. That's why they're stressful. There's some things that are just like, it's overwhelm instead. But for overwhelm and just too many things on the go, I rely on lists. I make a lot of paper lists and I find them very soothing and very calming for my personality. And I was telling my husband, like, if you have too many things to do, a list is such a lifesaver. And what I say to myself when I'm feeling like too busy to make a list or he's like resisting, I have this like thing that I repeat, which is like, if it's good enough for Sully, it's good enough for you. So if you don't know, Sully was the pilot who successfully landed the plane in the Hudson, you know, the Miracle on the Hudson, outside of New York, whatever, there was like a plane problem. And so he had to land on the water. He pulled off this like remarkable landing. He's a true hero, right? Well, he said it wasn't any sort of miraculous whatever. It's that he uses a checklist. Even in the most panicky situation, he does not rely on his brain. He relied, and I'm paraphrasing, but he relied on a checklist. And that's how he saved those people. So I always say if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me. And you know what? Checklists are such a lifesaver. So if you don't believe me, just try it. Just put everything on an actual physical checklist and see how much that alleviates stress. I see a lot of people just super forgetful, forgetting this, forgetting that, essential things. And it's like, well, make a paper checklist, put it on a sticky, and just like cross things off as you go along and you're much less likely to forget. So that's just a very basic tip. And I'm really not trying to get into the productivity realm here because I don't have a lot of interest in productivity culture. I really don't. But when I'm needing to get things in order, classic reset, I think a classic reset usually can benefit from a good checklist. And I think it is better if you write it than if you just put it in your phone. Something about the act of writing helps you remember what it is you need to do, helps you to clarify, and imprints in your brain a lot better. So as it's just after Canadian Thanksgiving, I actually don't have a ton of work to do today, luckily. So I thought it would be good, seeing as I'm in here anyway, just to do a little reset. This area is a bit messy and I'm just gonna tidy up a bit. One thing I definitely am is someone who likes to pile things up. I'm a piler, not a filer. Some people file things away. I like to put them in piles, but what's really bothering me though is visibly all these wires and clutter. This is my little phone stand. Isn't it good? I like having this. When I'm sitting here, I'll often just keep this here so that I don't have to pick it up and like look at it. That way, if I get a message or something, it'll just flash on my screen and it's kind of also a way to just charge it. These are not pricey items. They're kind of good though. And then I've got this old Sephora gift card, which is done. I've spent all the money on there. And I like to have things not perfect. I'm not that bad, but I do hate the sight of wires dangling. So I'm just gonna tuck these in. So I've done a desk, like a home office setup video somewhere. Navigate around if you want to see all these little items. But Cords are so ugly. Actually, just kind of my thing where I just don't like to look at it. And then I've got this secret messy area back here. Let me show it to you. This is where I hide like headphones, more cords, the oldest, most busted calculator ever. Yes, I still do use one of these solar powered calculators. Oh, also a Canon, which is what I'm filming this in. This is so beat up, but sometimes it's just faster to grab a calculator. And it's still looking kind of like a hot mess here, but who cares? Because when they go around to this side, ta-da, it looks, well, okay, this is my usual view. It looks pretty tidy. So that's about the extent of the tidy up I'm gonna do here. I don't wanna go too wild. This is not how I wanna spend my morning, but I already feel better. That is just a little bit more, well, tidy, I guess. So I guess theoretically it's bad form that I do pretty much everything in here. I sleep in here, I put on my makeup. That's where I keep like my skincare. I do a lot of filming in this room as well. I do my editing, I work in here. I don't mind. It's kind of like my own little studio apartment. This is like quite a spacious room. It doesn't bother me at all. This is like my little secret enclave, I guess. And when I close the door, the guys in my house are usually pretty good about not bugging me, which is kind of nice. They know I'm at work or filming, and they don't usually just pop in. So a big part of a reset day for me is cleaning off my desktop. I cannot abide having, I don't mean this physical desktop, I mean my actual computer. Like, I don't like to have a lot of folders. I have friends, and maybe you're one of these people, where every little bit of the screen is tiled with something, a folder, a document. I cannot live like that. I need it to be clean. And I think that that's a big part of my success and why I can get so much done is good cleaning skills, really. Good skills in getting rid of things, like just being ruthless about things that I don't want. And here's the thing, I will put a lot of things in the trash, and the trash will empty in 30 days, at least on this Mac. I'm dragging things right now, a screenshot that I don't need anymore. If I want it, I'll just drag it back out again. It just lives there in purgatory because I think the automatic cycle is it will empty in 30 days. If I don't need it in 30 days, I don't feel bad about trashing it. And you know how many times I've dragged things back out of the trash and haven't found them there? And it's been more than 30 days and they were just deleted? 0 times. That's never happened to me. If I do need something and I put it in the trash, like maybe a screenshot because I want to retool something or a document I wanted to double check, chances are it's going to happen before the 30 days. So if that's something you'd like to experiment with, keeping a cleaner desktop, remember that I'm sure you can set this no matter what kind of computer you have. The trash is actually more of a purgatory. It's not exactly the trash yet. So I'm all about putting things in purgatory. I think that that's a great strategy just in general for cleaning up, even your makeup stuff or whatever you have, clothing. You don't have to give everything away in one shot. You can put it in purgatory and then give yourself a reasonable amount of time. If it really should be gone and you haven't touched it at all after the purgatory period is up, well, 2 things are going to happen. You'll want that thing back, or you're like, no, I can live without that. I haven't thought about that at all in the month or whatever your determined time period is. I swore this was not supposed to be about productivity. But unfortunately, the theme of reset and productivity, I think they have some overlap. On with my morning, I do actually just have to answer a few emails. Other thing I'm trying to get back into as part of my morning reset is looking after myself with breakfast. I've skipped it for the last couple days. I don't know, just have not been in the mood. I keep it really simple though because I don't have a huge appetite. But if I don't eat just a little something, I don't feel that good. I kind of just run low on energy. So it's just honestly my usual go-to. Half of an English muffin with butter. Nothing fancy here, friends. Definitely not like a protein rich, keep you going for the whole day type breakfast, but it's what I can stomach basically at this time. My goodness, I look absolutely ghastly under the light of this chandelier. I'm gonna give you a funny little story time actually now, because as I sit here, I can see my neighbors across the street. Let me show you. I don't know if you'll see what I see. I'm sure you won't. Anyway, suffice it to say they are there completely across the street, and I can see that they've got their dogs on the porch, and we've been kind of, I'm not gonna say the word fighting, we haven't been fighting with them, but we've been telling them that that's fine, except one of their 2 dogs barks his full head off from 7 a.m. in the morning when they put him on the porch until approximately sometimes 11:30 at night. Me, I'm not confrontational with neighbors really, although I can be, but the problem is I have no middle ground. Like I can't, if I'm mad, I'll be very mad if I have to talk to them. So I let my husband handle situations like this. And so he told them in no uncertain terms that they needed to get a hold of the situation and put the dog inside because we do not want to hear him barking. It's stressful for everybody. Nobody in the neighborhood enjoys hearing a dog barking on the porch from the morning till the night. Not to mention that's got to be extremely stressful on the dog. Anyway, they listened, but then they stopped listening. But then my husband had to go tell them again, we've been hearing your dog. Can you please take the dog inside? So they did, finally. You know, they weren't too happy about it, but they did. And then also this weekend, which I didn't get into, because I had enough stuff going on with our Thanksgiving problems. Don't they come to our door? This is in the midst of so many things going wrong, right? Like plumbing problems, flooding in the house. I feel it's like you name it, you know, tragedy in the neighborhood. Don't they come over and tell us or tell my husband? Because I'm like, I'm not answering the door for that guy. And I don't have like a huge animosity. I just did not want to deal with the situation because I knew it was going to be about their dog because I had already spotted their dog on the porch. And I'm like, God, this is going to start again. Anyway, across the street, he must have seen me looking at him and his dog, and he came over to address the situation with Niall. And he said that their dog has gone to reform school for the last month. So they're going to give him a try on the porch and see if he's still reactive. If he's still barking all day long, they're going to put him back inside. So to their credit, they told us that to their credit, they probably spent an enormous amount of money sending their dog to a dog reform school for a month. And the dog has not barked ever since. But I mean, you want to talk about stress? Oh my goodness, there's nothing more stressful than listening to a dog bark. It also begs the whole question, why do they have to keep their dog on the porch? I mean, they enjoy sitting on the porch all day and all night. Okay, can't you just put your dog inside like other people do if the dog is stressed? Like some dogs are not great at living in the city. It's too stressful for them and they perceive everything as a threat. Why would you do that to your dog? Just on a cruelty level, it just didn't seem right. But anyway, so far so good. As part of the whole morning reset, I now have I guess the peace of mind of knowing that I'm not going to hear that dog barking, hopefully, anymore. Oh gosh, if it's not one thing, it's another. I know that these are all like petty, bougie problems, but that's life sometimes, I guess. So if you've seen some of my vlogs in the past, or maybe you're new here, in which case, hello, please do consider dropping me a like, subscribing, and if you're not new here, say hi, drop me a comment. You've seen me in this spot, which is sort of like my makeshift studio tucked in a corner of the dining room, which is where I am now, and I'm just gonna do the lightest of tidy ups. This morning, I was just working on a bit of collage here, which I think is turning out kind of cute, and then I'm just gonna, you know, toss in my little scraps in here, maybe just put that in there and just do the lightest of tidy ups. Oh, it's so squeaky. The floor squeaks so much here. And so just the teeny tiny little, I'm not even gonna call this a refresh. This is more just the lightest of light tidy ups to get things just looking a little bit more organized and neat. I don't know if this is the proper cleanup. This is kind of just more pushing things around. All right, you know what? I don't want to do too much in here because I'm just wanting to just tidy up lightly. Okay, that's like 10% better, but I'll take it. We've had such remarkable weather. That has been one of the bright sides of this fall. Like, it has been so summery. I'm just here to collect my shoes so I can go to the backyard and just clock the weather, which is something I like to do. Some people can stay inside all day. That's not me. I have to go outside at least a little bit, and thank goodness for having a backyard. I really do enjoy just stepping out. So let's put these down here. I have my very long old person shoehorn, which very much comes in handy. So then I don't have to bend down and get these shoes on. Just, my cousin's like, you need to get one of these from IKEA. And I did. And that was like maybe 10 years ago. And I use them all the time now. Anyway, okay, let's see. Ooh. What's going on? It is like mid-October and it's still so beautiful out. Wow. It must have rained because the ground is quite wet, but look at the sun. Look at the quality of the sunlight at this time. It's so beautiful. All right, so off screen, I have been doing a little bit of email, just catching up on a little bit of work. Like I said, I'm not too busy with work today, but the emails took a bit of time. I'm like an inbox zero kind of person, so I have to make sure that everything is done. I hate having like unread email. It's just my own personal pet peeve. Maybe you're noticing a bit of a trend here. I like to just check off a little bit of stuff and just sort of get it done bit by bit rather than having to deal with a huge amount in one shot. That's just how I like to do things. It's quite noisy out here. it's like back to life for everybody after a long weekend. So I can hear like trucks and all kinds of noises going on. Okay, and so now we're getting toward lunchtime. So I'm gonna call it here. Thank you for spending this lovely morning reset here with me. I accomplished the thing that I wanted to do, which is to spend a bit of a chill morning chat with you guys, make a video, connect with some of you. Hopefully you're just playing this in the background and enjoying it while you're maybe doing your things, having a cup of coffee or whatever. Thank you for spending your time here with me. I really do appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.